Ukraine to cease to exist, because it is not needed to anyone, Medvedev says. Russian Security Council Deputy Chairman called the current Ukrainian state a misconception, created by the dissolution of the Soviet Union. Russian Security Council Deputy Chairman Dmitry Medvedev believes that no one in the world needs Ukraine, therefore it will cease to exist, he said in his post on social media Saturday. The post, titled "Why Ukraine Will Cease to Exist? Because Nobody Needs It," is divided into 6 parts, in which Medvedev explains why the Ukrainian state is not needed to Europe, the US, Africa, Latin America, Asia, Russia, and, finally, Ukrainian people themselves. Across the continents. Talking about Europe, Medvedev opined that the attempt to put young Ukrainian blood-sucking parasites on the arthritic neck of the decrepit EU will become the final downfall of the previously royal, but now impoverished, due to degeneration, Europe. According to the official, the forced support of the Nazi regime under command of the American mentor has already created true financial and political hell for the Europeans, and its consequences, including unprofitable Russian sanctions, have already led to outbursts of discontent in both Western and Eastern Europe. Meanwhile, even the Poles do not treat Ukraine as a normal country and float the idea of Anschluss of Western regions from time to time, Medvedev underscores. Meanwhile, American people will sooner or later bring its political establishment to answer why it is occupied with a country unknown to them, instead of domestic American issues, Medvedev opined, noting that the 2021 storm of the Capitol will look like Boy Scout games in comparison. Regular Americans have absolutely no idea what Ukraine is and where it is located. Most of them wouldn't even be able to immediately pinpoint this state on the map, Medvedev noted. As for other parts of the world, Medvedev believes that the hundreds of billions that the US spends on pointless fighting somewhere in Ukraine would have been enough to fund many programs aimed at social development of Latin American and African states. Ukraine is also not needed to Asia, since Asian states see it on Russia's example how color, revolution, technologies are being honed in order to take down the largest competitor states, and understand what fate has the collective West, led by America, has prepared for them in case of disobedience. Help us deal with Russia, and then we will soon come to you. In addition, Medvedev continued, giant Asian states have enough problems rebuilding the economy after the pandemic, therefore they refuse to blindly support Ukraine and isolate Russia, a country that is geopolitically much closer to Asian powers and that has historically proven itself as a reliable strategic partner. In Russia and Ukraine. Medvedev called the current Ukrainian state a misconception, created by the dissolution of the Soviet Union. Millions of our compatriots that have been harassed by the Nazi Kiev regime for years live here. It is them whom we protect, with the special military operation, ruthlessly eliminating the enemy, the official noted. And this is why the sub-Ukraine is not needed for us. We need a big great Russia, the political said. As for the Ukrainians themselves, Medvedev assessed that there are only slightly over 20 million out of 45 million of them still left in the country, and the remaining Ukrainians are forced to live in constant anxiety and fear and are willing to go anywhere. This kind of Ukraine is not needed to anyone on the planet. And this is why it will cease to exist, the author concludes.